What's going on, guys? Shima Tensei and Nagito Kenshin, whatever you want to call me. Today we're going to be making a new what if called What If I Was in Academia. I wanted to do this what if ever since I started the what if community. And I feel like I finally have a great way to show how I want to live my academia in my academia. Yeah, yeah. but, and so with that, let's get straight into the what if. Miracle was born on March 31st of 2006. His name was Shira Sensei, as he was home to a single mother and a stray father, although his father still visited, but his mom did not want that. As the years passed, their mom made sure that their father got more distant and even more distant. He would visit still from time to time, but they got less frequent, and soon he moved away to America to start a new life. Now, our main character story starts 13 years later at Aldara Junior High. A girl said, "You said you can see us with the future." As some random guy says, "Sorry, we just have dramatically different goals on what we want to do with our lives." As the girl leaves the lunchroom crying, a green-haired kid said, "What's what's up with that girl?" "I don't know, Izuku. She said just something about loving me. I didn't really feel anything from her though, so I just cut it off." "Oh well, good thing I'm quirkless, so I don't have to worry about other girls feeding after me." He chuckled. "Not funny," the kid sighed. As they finished their lunch, they went to go to the next class early so they didn't be late. But beep, beep, beep. A villain had snuck into the campus. Everyone panicked. There was a burning smell in the air. As they turned around the corner, it turned out to be Bakugo protecting the kids with less offensive quirks, to say the least. The villain sent Shinra and Izuku behind him. As the villain turned around, Shinra yelled, "Get back!" As Izuku and Bakugo jumped back, Shinra pulled out a pencil from his right pocket and yelled, "Full power, full counter!" Suddenly, the attack that the cloaked villain shot at the frail small teenager went back at him 2 times the strength. Everyone was amazed. With the blinding light blinding all the kid eyes, as they regained their vision from the smoke, you could see Shinra Kusakabe, or Shinra Tensei, standing there with dilated pupils, with the pencil that he used destroyed in his hand. As Izuku ran over to help Shinra, and Bakugo evacuated the students. But from far away, little did they know that the girl from the lunchroom was still watching them as she left with the rest of the students. As she said, "Please, Shinra, don't leave me." As the cloak started to burn even more, it released the face of the villain. The villain was known as Muscular, as he killed a a pair of heroes known as the Water Hose Heroes recently, and he ended up getting captured. As Shinra stood there with dilated pupils, the teachers came to help Shinra and called the ambulance. He's, as the doctor said, his injuries are bad, but they're not unrepairable. All we need is consent from his parents. And the teacher got a grim look on his face. "Oh," the teacher said, "well, his parents are no longer with us. So take him and do whatever you have to do to save him. He is the next symbol of peace after all." You don't want to destroy that, do you now? As the paramedic nodded and laid Shinra out on a stretcher, as the man with the cell activation quirk and a woman with the healing quirk. The cell activation quirk was meant to close up his wounds, while the healing quirk was meant to heal his broken bone and any sicknesses that may be left over in his body. As the pair healed, they celebrated as Shimura abruptly woken in the infirmary while a doctor walked in and jumped like he had just saw a ghost. As Shinra said, "Where am I?" The doctor said, "Can you give me a second, Mr. Tensei?" As Shinra shrugged and looked down at his hands and yelled and hopped out of his bed, ru- rushed, rushed in. The doctor said, "Is there a problem, Shinra?" As a voice said, "Shinra Tensei, quirk full counter. He can there are three main parts that he can do with his quirk. He can block any attack, he can send back any attack, and he can send back all strong attacks with two times the power of what they were enforced with." As whoever that was done instructing the Shinra Tensei quirk, he looked at his hands and realized that my skin's not the same color. I'm more of a darker color. What is it called? Coconut? Brown? It's called black. But this isn't black. I know mostly Americans and Africans and Indians have these type of colors, but it was necessary for us to keep your life as a future symbol of peace. And it's like, oh, the teacher told you that, didn't he? Yeah, all the teachers want me to be the next symbol of peace. And I got no problem with being the next symbol of peace. As Izukura was like, "Hey, Sheen, are you okay?" It's like, "Yeah, man. What's Bakugo doing?" "Oh, he's sitting out there. He doesn't want to come in right now. He's being Bakugo right now." Like, oh, I guess that makes sense. As Shinra and Izuku Midoriya ended up chatting for a while, and Shinra Tensei wouldn't be able to go to school for the rest of the year, which means that he won't be able to get the rest of his time in with his friends and he wanted to try to make up with that girl that he realized that life is too short for him to just be pushing away people like that. But as he Shinra started talking about the girl, he said, "Oh, you're talking about that girl, aren't you? Well, she actually followed us here, so she's here right now. You should talk to her." He's like, "What?" She followed us. As the girl outside squealed as she tried to run away, but Bakugo grabbed her arm like, "Go ahead, go in there. He was just talking about you." She was like, "I know. I just don't want to talk to him right now." And he said, "Go in there right now." And then, as he's like, "Fine, Bakugo," and she goes in there. She's like, "Yes, Shinra." He's like, "I'm sorry for the way I treated you." She, she's like, what do you mean? We do have complete opposite goals. You want to become the hero that everybody can look to. Well, I just want to be a stay-at-home person. You said you couldn't deal with that in your life, so I guess I'm not fitting in, am I? It's like, I realize life is too short that I can't waste it on silly things such as that. I can live with you being a stay-at-home wife, but I'd prefer you be a hero by my side as a dual hero. Just like the water hose, be successful and don't unfortunately have a demise that can't even be explained with words. She's like, "I'm sorry, Shinra. Sorry." He's like, "Well, I still want you back." She's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yes." And as he faints from the pain that he just got from looking at his body. And that says for a little stop break, I need to get some water. I need to refill on some water. Oh, my phone's in a good dead. I actually need to plug my charger. But yes, I'll see y'all in a few. Oh crap. Well, I'll see y'all in a few seconds. All right, guys, I'm back. I just had to get a little break in. Sorry for the interruption. But where did I leave off? I left off with him fainting again. Yes, so Shima faints as he just lay down, and Deku leaves to go home to his parents, to his parent actually, my bad. Hisashi Midori still leaves, so yeah. And as he wakes up, he realizes that he's still here. Like, I'm fine, but I'm still here. Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? As the place said that someone wanted to talk to you as the number two hero in Deverwald thing. He said, "Hello. You seem to have a strong quirk, and like you could really help my son benefit. And I do like strong kids. So, what do you think? Will you become my son?" And as Shino Tensei is fainting out right now because he's my favorite hero. Like, oh, he's my favorite hero. And he's like, so how do you feel? He's like, of course I'll let you adopt me. Debbie, you're my favorite hero. He's like, okay, just sign these adoption papers, and we'll get you ready for UA since the school year has now ended. And your little friends, Bakugo and Izuku, that I've heard about, can join too. I'm like, really? Yeah, I heard that Izuku doesn't have a quirk. No, he doesn't. As we change to Izuku's perspective, he's walking home from his last day of school. Bakugo didn't bully him because Bakugo has to give him respect now because Shinra is the top dog of the class, and he is not no more. He hangs out with Shinra, and Izuku hangs out with Shinra too. So he doesn't bully him or anything. So he just leaves. He decides to take a shortcut to get to his house faster. And from the sewer, he hears something like a sludge, and then before he can react, something pops out the sewers. As we all know this as the sludge villain incident, as he's slowly being suffocated, as he's getting little breaths of air from the little pockets that he's ripping open. He thinks, if I can just keep this for a little longer, and I can maybe call for a hero. I can maybe get myself out of this situation. But I'm being quick. That's good for this. Crap, Shinra would have been able to defeat this monster in one hit, or even less, without even touching him. If he had a weapon, just knock it back. But as he's saying this, All Might comes out the sewer and says, "I am here," and knocks the sludge villain away. As everything goes according to canon, with Izuku actually being pre-built, All Might sees this and he's like, he seems pretty built. Yeah, if he has a good heart, I could give him one for all. He's like, so how built are you? He's like, I've been training since I was in sixth grade with, not sixth grade, but since I was sick with my friend Shinu Tensei. And he's like, Shinu Tensei, huh? So you've been training a pretty long time, right? He's like, yeah, I'm pretty used to it. And he's like, how would you feel if I was able to give you a quirk? He's like, that would be awesome, actually. He's like, okay. Well, I'm gonna go get off the sludge and as he's finna leave, but then he's realizes that his limit's finna be over, and as he before he jumps off, he stops and then he de-transforms right in front of Izuku, and as Izuku's like, who are you? You're not the real All Might. You're an imposter, aren't you? Like, as Toshinori now says, no, I'm indeed the All Might. It's just what you could call my weakened form of where I had an incident around 6, 7 years ago. He's like, so it must be with that Mr. Chainsaw Evil Dude, whatever that villain name was. Like, no, at that point it was strong, nowhere near strong enough to put a dent into the symbol of peace, the almighty hope. He tells him about how his limit is around 2-3 hours a day, and he tells him about how he can pass his quirk down, how he wants to pass his quirk down to Izuku Midoriya. And as Izuku Midoriya is like, yes, and as they both hear explosion, before All Might can even say anything, Izuku busts down the door and runs down the staircase, just running. wanting to get there because he feels like that's Bakugo from just the sound of explosion. As Toshinori begins to run after him, he can't keep up because he's in his weakened state. As you start to bleed from the mouth, he's like, "Kid, wait, you didn't answer my question." As Izuku makes it to Bakugo, and he's just like, "Bakugo," and he runs in there. All Might's around the corner. He's like, he's even more than a hero than I even thought.
No.
Yes. He's even more than a hero than I ever thought. And as he goes and tries to help Bakugo, he hits the sludge villain, which does little to no damage. Then All Might comes in, pushbacks Izuku, then grabs Bakugo out of the sludge villain and just lets out a Detroit smash that can change the weather. And that's where we're gonna end this one for now. I'm sorry for that interruption, and hope you guys liked it. See you next time.